And welcome back to another episode of the Kindled Korner. I'm gonna be your host, joined by my other host, Chino Bot, and me, Antology. It's kind of a new concept we're working on. We did the first episode last week, and we did it with Cam on because we did with our friend Cam. Chino Bot, say something to the people.
Yo, what's up, guys? Yo, shout out to Cam, bro.
Shout out to my
great
boy
guest
Cam,
host.
man. He was a great guest host. He was definitely a great guest host, man.
Can't wait for him to be up on next time he's available.
Yep, definitely. We are going to be talking about Demon Souls today. So basically what we're going to be doing with this show, with this little podcast, is we kind of want to discuss in depth the games that we've played, like the From Software games. Like, you know, we've done all of them except for Bloodborne, right, Chino?
That's right. One day we'll get to Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
One day, when it ever comes to PC or something, you know. Yes. But you know, one can only hope.
I'm also technically I'm working on it. It's in progress. All right, I'm getting my hands on a PS4, and I'm gonna play the damn game because I want to play Bloodborne so goddamn bad.
Man, how are you gonna get a PS4 before it comes out to PC? Man? That makes no sense.
I'm gonna get it on PS4 because that's where it came out on, and then I can play the original, or I could get a PS5 and play the remastered, or like you said, I could wait until it gets on PC and then I can play it. But I kind of want to play it earlier, bro. You right. Also, this is the VTuber aspect, the 2D tuber portion of this podcast. We kind of want to keep it in that direction. Chinobot is a robot. That's his armor. I'm Invader. That's why I'm red. Something cool, something different, you know?
The way it is, you know, we still got some work to do with our 2D VTubers and stuff.
Oh yes.
But you know, we'll get there where we get comfortable. But
yeah,
it'll get better. Don't worry, guys.
I think in the next few days you'll see my guy with a big ass raw axe, holding a big ass raw axe, and maybe Chinobot holding a mage a staff.
Okay, that was one time that I played as a mage. Okay, guys, don't listen to him. He's spitting nonsense at this point. I played mage one time, and he will never let that go.
Chinobot is a honorary mage build. He might not admit it, but he is. He's an honorary mage build.
First of all, I'm not to get off topic, but I'm a hybrid build. I use shield, I use a sword, and if I can use magic, I'll use magic. Well, that doesn't make me a mage. Or does it, guys? You know, write in the comment. Does that make me a mage?
Let us know if switching your build to a mage every time it gets a little rough doesn't make you a mage.
No, see, but here's the important part he's left out. Yes, I may have done that, but then it got hard to a point where I ended up having to go back to where I originally from, and I ended up beating the game. So, in other words,
that is true. He did do that.
In other words, I beat the game with the original build that I started with. So, AKA, I am not a mage.
All right, we'll give it to him. But let's continue with the Kindled Korner. Today's topic, like we said, Demon Souls, and I think it'd be a really good, it'd be really good to point out that both me and Chinobot played the original Demon Souls. We didn't get our hands on the remastered. So
too broke for it.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say. Too broke.
No PS5. But there is a very big difference between the two games, I hear. So we're going to be talking about our experience with the first one. Now, we'll probably be showing pictures of the remastered, but we do want to point that out, that we didn't play the remastered. We played the original, which was all in all very, very charmful. It was a very good game. Which is my first impression of the game, which is a really good segue to our first question, which is, what was your first impression of the game, Chinobot? Demon Souls.
Alright, so my first impression with the game was I was like lost for words, because you could see, because I played all the other games before I even got to Demon Souls,
that is true.
I saw the progress of, you know, in Demon Souls, there's no way to fast travel. You have to walk everywhere.
Oh man.
The whole bonfire aspect is, once you die, you have to restart that level all over again.
Yep.
There is
they're
no
called something
save
different, aren't they?
I'm not sure. Maybe I think they're like Nexus.
The Nexus is the
Nexus
area.
Is Firelink Shrine.
It's
right?
basically the Firelink Shrine of Demon Souls. It's the Nexus.
But that's the thing.
Let's look it up, shall we?
All right, but I'm gonna continue while you're looking it up. It was just a great game. Like, you could see aspects that they took from Demon Souls, which carried throughout the series of Dark Souls, Bloodborne. From what I've been told, Bloodborne, Sekiro, the same thing. Like, it just carried over throughout the game. Some things were left out, which I'm not gonna lie, was very interesting. But majority of the things, like bonfires and things, seem to have made it throughout the series.
I think to summarize what my robo host is trying to say, I think is this is the very early stages of Souls games. This was the first Souls game, and the fact that we played the original made it that much more relevant to us of how originally this was very, very early stages of it, and it was very, very fucking like.
We got to see the start. Yeah, we got to see the start of everything in a sense.
And since we played all the other games while we were playing, or before we started Demon Souls, we kind of went through everything, and then we went to Demon Souls. So it was kind of a really it was a blast from the past kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it definitely was an eye opener because. In the other games, you can fast travel bonfire to bonfire. Yeah. So you have that luxury that you can if I died, I spawn right here. Not in Demon Souls. If you die, you got to start all over again.
Yep.
And you had to face the mobs all over again every single time, which was the most annoying fact for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, throughout the game.
I definitely want to talk about so what Chinobot is talking about, right? We were talking about this earlier. We kind of just forgot about it. It was the Archstones. So in the Nexus, there are Archstones, which are basically these portals that take you to the other world, and there's really early stages of the bonfire. And the thing about this Archstone is that there's only one. So what Chinobot was saying earlier, you get one shot through the level. Die, you gotta start over again, which is really fucking brutal for some of these levels, man.
From the very beginning too,
very beginning.
It's just very stressful. The game was pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. There were most of it was pretty easy. There were some parts that were, I was making it more difficult for myself because I was becoming so frustrated, so angry with it because I was constantly dying and having to restart all over. But overall, I definitely thought the game was pretty easy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What about you?
Easy.
What about you, Ray?
I agree. I'd say the same thing. I'd say that it was really easy, especially compared to games like, Sekiro or, today's games. You can't really compare, I guess, the difficulty just because of how early stages this was. But that doesn't mean it's a completely easy game, man. There were some areas that were really fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll get into the area sooner, in a little bit. But
right. You want to talk about the bosses?
Yeah.
All right, let's start talking about the bosses a little. Now, like I said, we're going to be using a guide, as you can see right here on the top of our heads. Chinobot, point to your head with your eyes.
I really can't because I'm a PNG VTuber. Can't really move my eyes, so good try with that.
Chinobot, if you could please just point to the picture above our heads. You know what? Just hover over it. All right, he's hovering over it. There you go.
Yeah, put me back, man. Put me back.
Oh no, he's not. Oh shit. Okay, my bad.
You're having too much fun with this, bro. Just leave me alone. I'm getting dizzy from it.
All right, we're starting with I guess we could start with this boss. Chinobot, what do you think? The
You
tutorial
know,
boss.
every game will always have a tutorial boss, but this tutorial boss specifically was just purposely made like you cannot really beat him. And if you have beat him, kudos to you because you definitely had to struggle with him.
Oh yeah.
I definitely struggled against this boss. I was barely doing any damage to him. I got one-shotted. So
Oh yeah,
I
he's
was like,
definitely one of those.
okay. I was like, all right. So I was like, all right, this is going to be a tough battle. After this, I'm purposely supposed to die. That's just the way that the game starts. So I was like, oh, okay. So he was one of those bosses.
Yeah, like every other Souls game, there's a boss that you, except for Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring's the only one that doesn't have a tutorial boss, really.
Well, I mean, it does technically. It does have its.
Would you say
It
is
does
the
have a
tutorial
boss. The knight you fight in the cave at the very beginning, before
Oh,
you
he
get
kills
the
you,
first
that's
step.
right. He
He's
kills
a
you, that's
boss.
right. Does
He does.
kill you?
I mean, if no, he's easily killed.
Oh, no,
So-
I think I'm thinking more about one of those bosses that kind of like beats your ass, and you know.
Oh
you
no,
can't beat
Elden
them.
Rings don't. Elden Ring doesn't have
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The boss is like pretty simple. Like if you can block or
Mhm.
move out his way, you're easily
Yeah, basically.
able to kill. But this guy, the Vanguard, you were in such a small room. He took half the space. His
Oh, yeah.
weapon was like half of the radius of it. Like you were just no way to really escape that. You were barely doing any damage to him, honestly.
Yep, I agree.
Like I said, if you were able to beat him, kudos to y'all.
Apparently,
I'm-
some people can beat him. I'm reading this article, and it says that let's see, this taking into account that Vanguard, which is I guess his name is Vanguard, which honestly it's news to me. I didn't really know. Taking into account that Vanguard will one-shot just about every starting class, it's important to unequip all armor to have as fast a roll as possible. Defeating Vanguard requires dodging through all of its attacks and very patiently chipping away at its health, always ensuring there's enough stamina to roll away. Which sounds like the most try-hard shit I've ever seen.
Honestly, it sounds like, people that died just restarted all over. Made sure like they would quit before it actually progressed. So they could
Yeah,
do it.
to, like actually try to fight the guy.
Yeah, for sure. I actually would like to see how he is in the remastered version. I'm not gonna lie.
He looks pretty cool. Look at him through the. I don't know if you could see the picture. He looks really cool. He actually looks really cool. You know what I can do for you, Chino, so you can see that.
No, I'm
you're streaming. You see it on OBS. Right?
Yeah. I'm saying it. Yeah.
Okay, so
sure.
yeah, he looks pretty cool. He looked kind of weird, like I said.
It's a cool concept. The wings were very interesting. It confused me because I was like, okay, is he gonna fly? And the fact that he definitely did fly for a bit just had me dying because I was like, bro, he's a big ass monster with little ass wings, and yet he's flying half the place.
Yeah, he's a
Very interesting concept.
Very interesting first boss. I like that was the first of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to an actual boss. Right now, this guy is in a location. That's the first location that you go to, which is called Chinoba. If you could pull that up for me, since you have the wiki, let me know the first location is called.
I got you, bro. Give me a second.
Phalanx, we'll say. I don't know if I'm pronouncing
no.
it right or not.
Yeah.
No, but that's the boss I'm
Phalanx?
talking. Not talking about the location.
No. Yeah. Like, I honestly feel like the names were very
You could look at
unique.
you could on the wiki it should say the 1-1 would it be the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one?
He's in Gates of Volteria.
Oh, Gates of Volteria.
Voler-
That's a,
Volteria, yeah.
all right. Let's make sure you got that pronunciation right.
Yeah, Boletaria.
Gates of Volteria. Yep, that's it. Now Gates of Volteria alone. If you don't mind me starting this, because I kind of really like this boss.
Mhm.
Gates of Volteria was one of those things where like it just clicks so well, man. I really loved that like, going through everything, fighting those
Yeah.
blue-eyed knights. It really gave you a sense of what the game was gonna be like, and it,
Mhm.
it just had that classic, like, and it's Demon Soul, so it is the
Yeah.
most as classic as it gets. But like, it just had that classic Souls game, like dungeon, dark, wooden castle thing, and I just loved it, man. And this boss was really freaking easy, in my opinion. He was so easy. I got him in one try. I'm sure you did as well, Chino.
Oh yeah, no, like I definitely did get him in one try. The only difference was the fact that throughout the map leading into him, you encounter slimes, like slimes with shields,
oh yeah,
and those, it makes you think because it was like, okay, you can't really hit them from the front, and they spam spears and like throwables at you when possible. So you have to run around them in the closed quarter area.
yeah.
And so, but they're easy to kill. They're very weak to fire.
Oh yeah, they are. I noticed that as well. When I was fighting them, I just started hitting them with the what was it, the turpentine?
Uh
The
yeah, I think it was
fire
turpentine.
add-on,
Yeah.
turpentine. It was a fun fight. Overall, I'd say this boss was a really good first starter boss because he was cool. He didn't have to be hard. He just looked really cool, even though he was like a blob of nothing.
It forced you to get a big close quarter because before you could even do a lot of damage, you had to take care of the slimes with the shields, because if not, you were barely doing anything to them.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of like puzzle bosses like that in Demon's Souls. I have kind of a little bit of a off-topic thing I want to talk about, because I thought that Demon's Souls was just Demon's Souls, and that just it having the S on the back on the end of Souls would make that plural, like the souls of demons, or a demon souls, like demons. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot.
Guys, you just gotta forgive him, bro. It's tism. He has a tism out here where
Oh my god.
he just can't seem to grasp it. Demons Souls. It sounds weird, but that's just the way they named it. You gotta move on, man.
I guess I do.
Can't stay with it, bro.
I guess I do.
You gotta accept it for what it is.
I guess I do. I don't know. If anybody sees this and they know why it's Demons Souls, please explain it to me. And I might have to call my college and get a refund on my degree. But then again, I'm not like an English major or anything, so I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, the grammar could have definitely been better, but I'm not one to talk about grammar.
See, that's the thing. Maybe it is proper grammar, so like I'm not really sure. But I digress. Let's move on to the next boss. This boss I really enjoyed. You remember the Tower Knight?
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'll let you go first on this one, the Tower Knight.
All right, let me say this with the Tower Knight. As a mage, when you play, because I did beat him as a mage first time.
Remember what he said, chat. As a mage.
As a mage, right? Because this is when I was playing as a mage. I wanted to see how it was. The mage's range was very limited. So yeah, I had to be very close and had to roll away and stuff. But the aim bots, like the aiming on it, legs and stuff, were very difficult because it would switch on its own. Shouldn't have. But he takes a lot of damage once he's down and he gets hit in the head with the magic arrow. So he was very weak to spells and stuff, from what I remember. But when I beat him with, what was that class? The
Knight.
I guess the Knight. Yeah. When I beat him with the Knight, he definitely struggled a little bit because I didn't know how to hit him or where to hit him, because he's a freaking giant with the armor. Well, then once I figured out how to hit him, and I had to hit him in the head, constantly do it and run away, he definitely became an easy fight.
Yep.
Yeah, but I wish that I could have gotten his weapon, his shield, or his armor. One of the three. But it was sad. I didn't get anything. I only got souls. What do you think about the fight, Ant?
Now, it's very interesting to me that you forgot a really important aspect of this fight that I thought was so cool. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So first of all, you have to go through this freaking bridge with these dragons, like this dragon like destroying your shit and a whole bunch of knights everywhere, which was kind of really annoying. But it wasn't impossible, right? So you get around these things, and you traverse the fog into this very appropriate name, by the way, Tower Knight, because he's literally as big as a fucking tower. He's huge. Now, what Chinobot forgot to mention was that around him are archers, and these archers are shooting at you constantly. And before you even get to fight this boss, you have to run up the stairs and take every single one of those archers out before you can even try to fight him. And while you're doing that, he's throwing this like magic, like kind of like a soul sword at you. And it's just like a really cool, fun fight. And I think that once you get to the point where you realize that you have to hit him in the ankles and then he'll fall to the ground, and that'll give you time to hit him in the head, he's a really easy fight. He's like really, really easy.
Oh, yeah.
Most of these bosses, I think there's a really good theme for this game is easy, kind of like intimidating bosses. Like that's what they were going for. Intimidation without the skill.
Let me add to that though, and you are right. But here's another thing: the bosses never. How do I say it? The bosses were never what they seem. Because if you look at that from that image, what do you think? You know, let's say you haven't played it before, you only see this image. What do you think the fight is gonna be? And when you first see this image,
it's intimidating. Intimidating as fuck. He's big, he's huge, but he's always just kind of easy, you know?
Like, yes, but do you think it's just going to be a straight melee fight is what I'm trying to get at?
Oh, you're talking about what kind of style I think it was going to be?
Yeah, from that image alone, what type of style of fighting do you think he does?
Well, I mean, he does the appropriate style. Like he like stomps, he goes and he hits you around.
No, exactly. But that's what I'm trying to get at. For someone that's starting new, from someone that's like from a new person standpoint, he looks like he's gonna be like a fighting boss where he's gonna come like yes. But remember, like you said, like he also has the ability for a range attack with his magic.
Oh yeah. You only really get hit with that mage ability when you're on the stairs, though. No,
exactly. But he has the ability for range, which is what I'm trying to get for. When I first saw him, and when I first did the fight, I only expected him to do melee attacks and stuff, which, like you said, he does. But when you're close, when you're very like right under him, he does melee attacks.
I get what you're saying. You didn't think he was going to have any magical ability.
No, I did not think about that. Which is why I'm saying, like, the bosses aren't what they seem. Most of the bosses aren't what they seem. And
some of them
it was a good surprise. For
some of them.
Yeah.
Overall, really cool fight. Really cool boss. Amazing.
8 out of 10.
I think I could agree with that score. I'd give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Yep, for sure. Like the way to get there was called like the Lord's Path, and the thing is, there were 2 dragons.
Annoying, really annoying.
Annoying. You could not really damage them without getting yourself killed. It was that bad.
Definitely, but this other area was a little bit more of a cool place to see instead of just a fucking terribly annoying area. And that was this path to the armored spider.
Oh my god.
You remember that area?
I remember that area.
Now, this spider, was this the one that like breathed fire and shit?
Yes.
Okay, so this spider, I'll start off with this one.
Alright, go for it.
This spider has a really interesting arena, and I don't really know how my robo-host Chinobot fought this guy, but he knows how I fought him because he was watching me play this when I beat him. He had already beaten the boss. So you run up into this like kind of hallway, and he has like this like hive armors. We'll call it a her. And so she has her like kind of like hive, and you run up through the hallway into the thing, and there's like little areas on the left and the right which are literally her legs, right? They're her legs, and you can use that as like a barrier to kind of run away from stuff that she does. So I kind of just waited till she hit her fire. I ran away to all the way to the end of the hallway, and I'd run right back and just hit her. I kind of repeated that until I couldn't anymore, and then like her moves were pretty dodgeable, honestly. Like she was not a hard boss at all, and I think that's gonna be a really common thing for all these bosses. Like we just said with the tower knight, they're very intimidating, but they're very easy to beat. And then this one was no different. What do you think, Chino?
But the thing with that is, I feel like the bosses that they gave like openings to, like, you know, you had room to run and stuff, could have actually been bosses that took the place of like those bosses that were in close quarter. The armored spider was annoying because it was so close quarter, and he would throw his webs that, like, you know, his webs that would slow you down every time you dodge. He would throw fireballs at you.
That's true.
You know, throw like fire breath on the floor every time you got close. He had armor legs that, you know, would do damage. He would sting you, and it was just so annoying because you were forced to close, but you had so little room to dodge out of. Like you were constantly getting hit. And as much as I hated it, and when I finally had beaten the boss, I was like so happy. I jumped for joy, you know, on my one good leg. But great fight, honestly. I honestly was one of my favorite fights.
Yeah, I would agree. It was a really good fight. I'd agree that it was up there for favorites. All right.
The way I ended up beating him was, you know how in like the pillars he has an armored leg? And I would hide behind that with the shield.
I remember you said something about that, actually.
I would take damage, of course, but because I had a shield, it did lower the damage a lot. So I would do that and then run up on him, hit him where he's weak.
All right. That was the armored spider. On to the next boss. But you know what? Before we move on to this boss, let's ask some questions.
All right.
What was your favorite thing about the game?
My favorite thing about the game was that in the Nexus, everything was easy to find. You know, you didn't have to go look out, spread out, looked everywhere for like the blacksmith, or like, you know, people that did magic, for like merchants. They were already there in the Fire Link in the Nexus, which I actually liked because it was easier for me. Like I was like, okay, I know exactly where I could go.
Yeah.
And in that, before the spider, remember when you actually get there and you go up the stairs, the first thing you see is a merchant that sells stones that helps you level up weapons.
Yep.
And before you say anything, I apologize for not letting you know about that when you desperately needed it. Okay.
See, Genobot likes to do that. He likes to just kind of say, you know what? I know this piece of information is going to help my friends out in the Souls games, but I'm just going to keep it to myself. So that's a normal occurrence in the Kindled Korner, just something that happens. You know, I went through that whole bridge in Sekiro without an umbrella because Chinobot decided not to tell me that there was an umbrella.
No. First of all, I had some about it, so that's why I didn't tell him.
You kind of cut off. Repeat that.
So I definitely believe that you could have done that part without the umbrella.
I did do it without the umbrella. I had to.
Exactly. I had faith in you that you could have done it. No.
That's crazy.
I'm not the villain here, okay?
Okay. All right. Let's get into the other boss.
All right.
The Flame Lurker. Okay,
You want to start it off, or you want me to start it?
I'm trying to remember this boss, to be honest.
Easiest boss out there, bro. I cheesed the fight with this boss. Because you could cheese fights because Demon Souls seems to have, you know, not really perfected the boss fight. So there are bosses that you can cheese to easily beat them. And I was able to cheese that boss.
The Flame Lurker. I might have to watch a quick little video about that, dude.
His was an open space before the other boss that we faced.
Flame Lurker.
And he was running at you, remember?
Demon Souls. Let's see. Let's do.
Yeah, the remake should be.
Was that the one where
he came out from like the.
We cheesed him, right? Like we cheesed the crap out of him.
This is the. I honestly thought this was such a dope entrance. I mean, they can see bits and pieces of it. Like they got half the screen. It should be. Like, see, this entrance I think was very cool. Yes, this may be the remastered one, but for the original, he came out like all flames and stuff.
It was this guy. I cheesed him too, didn't I? Where I like ran him towards the corner.
Yeah, because you see how different it is.
Yes.
In the remake, there is no place to cheese it.
Let's look at the original one, dude. Why not? I feel like we should get used to doing stuff like this so we could like actually show stuff. All right.
See, again, great entrance. Honestly, one of my favorite entrants.
All right, let's see.
Throughout this game.
This was the Flame Lurker boss.
See, look how dope he comes out.
Pretty cool, actually, man. I remember this boss. I did cheese the shit out of him as well. I can't even lie. And I remember because Chinobot was like, "Oh, there's a way to cheese him," and I just kind of found my own way.
No, yeah, because on the left side of it, there's a way to cheese him. There's like a skeleton, rib cage, and like a pillar.
Yeah. That
he runs at you. So I first saw the cheese when like I was running through that side to try and run away from the fly. And he ended up just getting stuck there. And when I swung, I saw that the weapon went through the pillar. So I was like, all right, bet, easiest way to do it. And so that's what I did. I ended up cheesing him and stuff.
Fun boss. Really cool fire flame thing. I think I understand what you mean when like the other one doesn't look as cool. Where he's just literally like a figure of
just a boss,
engulfed in flames, you know?
Yeah.
Really cool.
This one would definitely like he's just pure flames. You can really understand the name Flame Lurker. Because he's literally in flames.
Alright, let's move on to the other boss. Dragon God. I don't remember this.
I actually do remember this.
The Dragon God gets in Dark Souls.
It's the puzzle boss, Ant.
Okay. Yes, I do remember this boss. And
it's the puzzle boss.
Let's do this. Let's look up the name for the or what is it called again?
Dragon's God. Dragon God.
God.
Yo, what did you think of the bear bugs in this area?
The bear bugs? I'm not sure.
The bear bugs were like where we met Patches.
Oh, those big freaking
like
larva.
The hard larva.
Those were so annoying. I actually even killed one of them. I killed like 4 of them because I was lost in that area. It's actually really annoying. This boss, I remember this now. I'm kind of really surprised that I even forgot about it. I really like this fucking boss, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
So cool.
I kind of wish that they did more like a bit of more puzzle bosses.
They did a good amount of puzzle bosses. I think that they were different kinds of puzzles. They weren't all just like this, but they were all in their own way a puzzle where you had to figure something out before you could do something else. And this was a really cool thing like that, where I don't think we really see this in a lot of other games anymore.
No.
But
man,
this was a really cool way to do it.
You know, there's one question I got for you guys who are watching this. If you guys ever played this, I've noticed there's a sword that seems to be blocked off, Is there any way to get to that sword?
Is it like an item?
I guess it was like a glowing sword. That it seemed like you would get an item for.
Do you remember what location it was in?
It was in this location. It was during this boss fight. There was like a sword, like there was a pillar. You know how he went right? Yeah, when he first entered here, he went right. So if he went left, there were pillars that were blocking the sword.
Oh, okay.
And I never figured out how to get that sword. So if anyone in chat can tell me what was the name of that weapon that was given with it.
Climb the refrigerator, Mario Kodaka Hayata said.
Yeah, okay, tell him to close the refrigerator.
Jesus Christ. Alright, we're gonna move on. The Dragon God, really cool concept. I would not mind seeing that kind of thing in other Souls games or other like Soulsborne games in the future.
Absolutely. Great boss. I think he was like a 7.
I give
easy.
I give him an 8 just because of how cool he was.
Nostalgia.
Alright. This person, the Fool's Idol. I feel like this one was kind of like more. Maybe we fought this a little late.
I am not gonna lie. I don't really remember her.
Yes, it's the one. Remember the one in the church? Is that not the one in the church?
I think it is the one in the church. You're right.
So like, look at this.
Yes.
So we probably
went through the wrong around.
Archstone.
Yes.
We went through the wrong Archstone, but this boss right here was very easy, and the church was very cool. I loved the fucking church. Did you like? So when I went to this area, I went to the top right of the church first, and there was a guy sitting there, and he was like, "Please don't kill me. I'll cause you no harm." Did you kill that guy?
No, I didn't. So let me tell you this. So I caught him on top, like, and then he was like, "Oh, please don't harm me. I need harm." And I was like, "All right, bet. Don't make me come back up here, because you gotta act tough when see shit." Or that's just me. But I'm like, "All right, don't make me come back up here." And then when I come down here and I fight this boss, I kill her instantly. One thing that I kept getting annoyed by were the freaking spells that were on the floor. I was constantly getting hit by the spells. And so when that happened and I killed her, I was like, all right, bet, one and done. All I hear is laughter on the top right. And I was like, please don't tell me this mother effer is doing what I think he's gonna do. And he's laughing and she comes back. But the thing that I noticed, you can walk right back out of the boss fight.
Really? Is that a glitch?
No. Like after she revived, I was able to walk right back out.
I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe that was kind of a glitch.
I guess so. I'm not sure. I was able to walk back up. I made my way back up to the top. I killed him. Then I went back down and I killed her again.
See, I had killed him before I went to go fight her. So I didn't know what she did. Also, Kodaka Hayate said, tell Chino to go to church. LOL.
Yeah, tell him to say the Holy Mary prayer in Spanish.
Maybe he could do it.
But
I think this boss was cool. It wasn't my favorite boss, but it was the area was really cool.
It was an interesting thing that it had a note. Definitely, if you didn't really pay attention to it, would have definitely made this fight a lot harder.
Oh yeah.
Because
All right.
again, she wasn't dead. She was just constantly reviving.
Yeah. All right, let's move
What
on
would
to
you
the
rate
next
her?
boss.
What would you rate her out of
I'd
10?
give her out of 10. I'd give her like a 6. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd
That's
give
a
her like
fair.
a 6.
That's a fair.
What
Fair
about you?
design. I give her a 6 as well. It's a fair adjustment to it.
I figured, yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't the funnest. It wasn't the most hardest. It was just like okay.
Oh man,
Gotta.
this guy. You mind if I take the?
Hey, go for it.
Yeah,
I
take the
already
mic really
knew.
quick.
Go
Now,
for it.
funny enough, I beat this one. Right?
Mhm.
I beat this one on stream. So you could literally go on my channel right now and you can find the VOD where I was playing Demon's Souls. You hear that? Demon's Souls.
Yes.
The
Yes.
demons, the S and the demons. Okay.
Yes. You got it right, bro.
So I'm fighting this guy, and for some reason, you fight him on this really tiny bridge, and he does this like dash kind of like clothesline towards you that throws you away from the fight. And if you're in the wrong side of the bridge, he throws you off of the bridge. But that's not the annoying part about this boss. It's the fact that he flies, and he does not leave fucking air. Like he's just in the air the whole time. At least for me, it was like that. And I couldn't get him to come down. I had fireballs. I was wasting everything. Like, it got so bad that I had to put on my fucking my song. Where every time I'm having a hard time in a boss and a song, I put this song on called looking for, what was it? Holding out for a hero.
Yeah.
I need a hero.
Yeah, I need a hero. What? Bonnie Tyler?
Yep. I put that song on it, and that song definitely went on for this one. Because not only is there one annoying, clotheslining, flying asshole, there is a second one. And he comes in around, like, what, halfway? Like, once you get him, like,
Yeah.
like halfway through the fight, like, he definitely can get him down enough where he doesn't, like, where you can kill the other guy and kind of run to the other one. That's, like, the main objective. But, like, this fight was rough. It was fun. I love this fight. I give this boss a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Very valid answer. Wait, let me add to that, bro. So my experience with this fight, and Ant got mad at me because when he saw me do this fight, he got mad because they barely flew when
That's
I
true.
fought them. They barely flew at all. They were constantly on the ground. And Ant was like, all right, be careful, they're gonna fly. And then when he saw they didn't, you know, it gave him questions because he was like, why are they not flying? But on my part, they are constantly flying, like, you know, you're seeing in the video. And they would just never come down. On my part, like, they were constantly on the ground, constantly trying to fight me. I will say the lock, you know, the targeting, I hated because when I rolled, it threw me out. I rolled off of the bridge, my first attempt. And I was so close to beating them too, which is what hurt. But honestly, I give them a 8.5. It was a great fight, but it wasn't my that interesting for me. You know, I would have liked to see what they transformed. Had you
I'll
given
give you
them
that.
the transformation?
I get that. I definitely get that.
And like I said, the shield definitely helped. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't know if I even used the shield. I'm pretty sure I did.
see, with that definitely helped because it would barely.
Yeah.
knock me back.
What would you rate the boss?
I would rate him a 8.5. Honestly, like I said, it was a fun fight. I definitely do believe like this fight should have been more in an area instead of a narrow bridge.
I disagree. I think the bridge added something very cool to it. It gave it like a fuck. Like, let me not round like an asshole. I really have to be careful about what I'm doing.
Yeah. All right, that's not
Just
a
my
bad.
opinion. Just my opinion.
No, you right. Cause like
Alright.
I'm seeing the video and then I'm seeing he fought them in
Yeah.
the middle of it where I was stuck honestly trying
in
to
the
fight
middle.
them on the bridge itself. So definitely I feel like it was a skill issue. I should have
Could have been.
Found my own way to fight them.
Alright, let's move on to the old monk. Now, we faced these guys a little later than we should have, I think.
I think we faced them last. No,
Yeah,
second to last.
Second
No,
to
we
last.
faced
Very,
them
very,
second
very
to
close to
last.
last. Very close to last.
Yeah, we didn't know the way the order was, so we just did it wherever it came.
We just played. Honestly, we just played. And he was really easy. Honestly, I don't really have a lot to say about him. He was a really easy fight. Standard fight. 6 out of 10.
Intro was decent. I do like the intro of the NPC he makes. But easy fight, I'll give him a 3 out of 10 because I'm not gonna lie, he didn't really do it. It was just his NPC. Once you got rid of him, what can you say? He was done.
Yep. That basically a very standard fight. You just hit till they're dead.
Pretty much, yeah.
Rating?
Like I said, I'd give him a 3, and that's being on the generous side.
Alright. I gave him a 6 just because the area was cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's move on. Ooh, this guy was really cool. Adjudicator. Adjudicator. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. But this guy...
Adjudicator? Maybe?
Adjudicator.
I mean, whatever it was.
Well, this guy was really cool. He was really easy, I think. Especially for mage builds, right?
For a mage, yeah. For a mage, can't saw, how I fought him, and I just fought him from up there. From right here, I was hitting him, and he was taking damage. But then when I fought him again with the melee build, I actually had Ed help me because he was telling me all right, bro. He was coaching me through the fight because I was definitely struggling. And to that end, I say thanks.
Welcome. I'm trying to find Demon Souls, the original one, but I can't with the mage, so we're just gonna stick to the other one. But it was a cool fight, I guess. It was definitely, I think it was more exciting when you weren't doing the mage stuff. Like you said, the mage one was really easy, and then I helped you do the other one.
Yeah, honestly, out of those two, I definitely had a funner time with rather than.
I agree. I definitely saw that. Alright, I'd give him, just for the cool, little, coming down to the tower, I give him a 7.
I actually give him an 8 because it's something you don't really expect. He's using his tongue as a weapon rather than the weapon that he's holding. So he's
very different.
He had a range, and the tongue was destroying buildings. You couldn't stay up there and cheese him however you like. It was forcing you to come down.
Yeah, sure.
That's why I give him an 8 out of 10.
Alright.
Moving on
from the Adjudicator, or whatever his name is.
Adjudicator.
Adjudicator.
The shield look cool, bro.
Old hero. Okay.
Once again, Ant, you helped me with that one.
Old hero was a really cool fight, in my opinion. Only because
He was blind.
But the way that they portray it, is the actual one, or is this the...
I think that's the actual one.
Yes, it is. So I remember picking up, what was it? It's kind of like what are those things that you pick up and you that gives you back stamina and all that? I can't believe I'm blanking on that right now. They're like the medallions in.
Hold up. Let me look.
Like the rings. Okay, I think they're rings.
Yeah, the rings.
So you get a ring that kind of helps you be sneaky, and I had that on because I was trying to get away from these people, not because I was getting into this boss. But then I realized that he couldn't see me, It was the movements that he was following, like the sound of your
The
movement.
sound, yeah.
And I just really liked this corridor where you had kind of like these pillars and you would move from the sides of them and you'd run around and you'd try to not make a lot of noise. This was a really fun fight for me. I really liked it.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
enjoyed it a lot. The area to get down to here though was terrible.
Oh my god, bro. You want to talk about that area?
Let's hear about what you think about this boss, and then we'll talk about that fucking wretched area.
Oh, okay. So this boss, honestly, top three fights. He's like my third fight, honestly, ranked third, because as dope as it was, as very cool. You have to be careful with the sound because that's where you fall. It was like very unique. Very had me quick on my toes, had to roll, had to know when to hit because he packed a punch. He did land a hit. For sure.
He was annoying as hell.
Pretty much, especially because of the curved blade, like he seemed to have a wider range and stuff.
But he was pretty easy too.
Yeah.
I'd say he was easy.
Oh, I mean, you ended up figuring out what his...
Yo, what's up, Crass Boy?
Remember, you ended up figuring that out.
That is true, I did figure that out, but I don't think it was that hard for you either. When I watched you play some...
Oh yeah, like, it for sure was easy. It's just like... Damn it.
Cheetobot, your battery's turned off for a little bit. We couldn't hear you. That, please.
Okay, I don't get why. That's very weird. But I was saying, it was a great fight. I definitely liked it. Again, I would rate him I guess an 8.5.
I'm gonna go with 8.5 as well. I think it's fun. Now we have to talk about. Oh my god! So this guy, right before you're gonna get to the old king, whatever is the whole hero, you have to go through this freaking demon path called Altar of Storms. Or no, the Ritual Path. It's called the Ritual Path.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And this fucking path, it's kind of like you're going down an area.
You're in hell, pretty much. You're in hell, okay? Because the phantoms that were there, called the Shadow Leaders, were so annoying because they're constantly responding. The Reaper, the main boss that was, once he died, the Shadow Lurkers disappear, would one-shot you. And if you were a melee user, it was very difficult for you to get close without taking damage because, again, he was so fast at, quick casting that even if you blocked, you still had a chance of dying before you even got to swing.
So this area, there were a lot of things to go to kind of get away from it, right? So I had to deal with the people striking because there's no way to kill the freaking like manta rays or whatever, the stingrays, flying stingray thing. But the knights, so what I would do is I would kind of hit them, Chino, and then I would run back. Hit them and then I'd run back. Let's see if I could get a video on this fucking area.
The skeletons, right?
Yeah, you'd hit them and then there's like a step and they wouldn't be able to, so you jump on top of the step and you would just kind of like, it's the remake, only the regular ones, the ones. I guess we'll watch a remake one and see what it looks like. It's probably gonna be much more, like, way different, but very similar at the same time. And this one looks crazy, huh? But basically, you go through all these people, like this little ledge right here. It's kind of really annoying, and it's just not a fun time. It's probably one of the hardest. This is the equivalent of Dark Souls 2's Iron Keep. This is the Demon Souls Iron Keep. That's its Iron Keep.
Because you constantly had to be watching out for the stingrays and stuff. They were like, bro, their aim was always on point.
Oh yeah. McCree, bro. The fucking, what does McCree say on Overwatch?
It's high noon.
High noon. That's literally them. They were destroying you every second chance. Every chance they got, they'd destroy you. But let's move on from this fucking hellish level, man. Like I don't even want to
Honestly,
think about that level anymore.
That place would definitely give you the hardest out of anything else in the that one area. Probably.
Oh yeah, Ritual Path. I think it's like 3-2 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it'd be, I don't know.
4. It's World 4.
4. It's 4. I think it might be 4 something. Sure.
Yeah, it's 4-2. 4-2.
Okay. Storm King. Now this guy, super easy boss. I don't really have a lot to say of it. I just thought it was cool that you could use the Storm Ruler, right? It's a Storm Ruler. Yeah, the Storm Ruler, which is like the first appearance of the Storm Ruler, I say, Demon Souls. So it's cool that it's made it this far, you know, with Dark Souls 3, and then I'm sure it has odes in other places, but it was a cool boss to figure out. It's kind of like a little puzzle boss.
Yeah.
That's all I really have to say about it.
Not bad. You know, once you had the weapon, you were pretty much one-shotting everything. So, how would you rate it? How would you rate it?
Well, since it was kind of cool, I'd give it a 7. But it was just a really easy fight. I mean, all of these bosses, like, I try not to rate them with difficulty because if I'm giving them higher ratings, like 7s and stuff, because this game it just really wasn't that hard. But in terms of how cool it was pretty cool to have all that stuff and the Storm Ruler, so I give it a 7.
Yeah, definitely good.
What about you?
Definitely a 6. I definitely, you know, think it could have been a little bit better, you know. But then again, it was the first game, the original game that came out, so I don't worry about that. They were just thinking
Humble beginnings, right?
Yeah, humble beginnings. So I think that's good enough on the Storm King. Very good fight.
Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Ooh, this guy right here, man, the Leechmonger. You remember him?
Yes, I did.
The Leechmonger. He was a cool boss.
He definitely was. You actually thought he was boss, honestly.
What?
Didn't you think he was the most gross-looking one? I think you were like, you felt disgusted by him.
I think it might have been him. He looks very different. I gotta keep remembering that these pictures are from the remake, and this is more the original, which is why I kind of have this does not look cool at all. Like, it looks really nasty. Like, look how different this looks compared to this.
Because if you guys ever seen the last Avatar, sir, but no,
say that again, Chinabot.
In the last Airbender, the cartoon, if you ever seen the episode of the swamp monster, that's what he looks like.
I can't lie, I've never watched this, so I do not know.
Yeah, but honestly, it was a good fight. I definitely liked it. Pretty easy fight too.
Very easy.
Very weak to fire. And that's what this game is all about. Most of the bosses, some of the bosses were heavily, weak to fire.
Yeah. Kind of odd how that works. But I guess it makes sense, especially for these Ebola creatures. You were like lighting them on fire. They're like maggots.
Oh, yeah. For sure. But you remember the one, I think there was another boss after this.
Let's wait to talk about it when we get to it.
All right. No, you're right.
But I'd give this also a 7.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think definitely could have done more. He seems to only have done, stay on one spot and, let that be that.
Yeah, they could have made it in like a big mud pool. Like it was already in a big mud pool, but like something kind of bigger where maybe he was like
He could have
going
moved, you know.
under and then he'd come back
Yeah,
out on another side. That'd be cool.
yeah, yeah,
All right, let's move.
absolutely.
Now we get to Dirty Colossus. Now I think I remember this guy, but I don't remember I don't know why he looks like it. What was it
Again,
again?
Dirty Colossus.
Oh, Colossus. All right, this guy, I remember the boardwalk area. Like it's kind of like a wooden thing. Like I don't know. This reminds me of that one area in Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls. It's fucking called, man. The worst area in Dark Souls 1.
Oh, when you're in the when you're trying to
Blight
find
Town.
the
Blight Town. It's
like
like Blight Town esque wood, like just weird panels and shit. I like this boss just because the area was kind of cool to me. Like it was just kind of
mhm,
it looked like Blight
unique.
Town.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Boss
I
wasn't hard.
under no, the boss wasn't that hard. It was pretty much like as long as you knew how to out the way and
Yeah,
stuff and avoid his things, you were easily.
easily.
What do you think of like the healing factors? There was no pots, but it was like the Dark Souls 2
I enjoyed
life
that
gems.
actually. That's a good that's a good question. I actually really enjoyed that. It was very similar to, like you said, like the life stones, or what were they called? The life
Life
gems?
gems.
But this
Yeah.
was like the early stages of that, and they
Yeah.
had
The
like different.
grasses.
They had different. What would you call them? Like
Different grasses. Pretty
but
much. They
they're
were
like
different
strengths.
grasses.
They're like different strengths of
Yeah.
health that they give
Different.
you, right? So the
Yeah,
more
yeah.
you level up, the more you start working on your health, you get a bigger health bar. You're gonna need like half moon grass or full moon grass, shit like that.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I like that a lot, actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good question.
Definitely. They were very quick too. If you think about it, using them, you were very quick than the
Yeah,
life gems in Dark Souls 2.
I think that's a good uh 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 time to ask some other questions. Like for
Right.
example, what was your? Did we already talk about favorite thing about the game?
No, we talked about our least favorite.
So did we talk about least favorite? Because I know I didn't say my least favorite yet.
Yes, I.
I
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think we
I
did
think
talk about
we.
favorite thing. I actually think we
No,
did.
no, we didn't talk about favorite. We talked. We talked. We were starting with the least favorite, and then I said it, and then we started into
All right, then
interesting.
what's one of your favorite things about the game?
One of my favorite things about the game is the Nexus. Everything seems to be very connected.
I see. I
Everything.
remember you saying that. We definitely talked about that.
Hmm.
We definitely talked about that. I remember you saying
No,
everything is easy to find.
no.
That's what
Oh,
you were gonna say,
oh no,
right?
yeah, yeah. No, the blacksmith was. I think you are right.
Yeah, you
I
said
think we
everything's easy
didn't
to
hear
find in
from
a
you.
Nexus. Yeah, I don't think I said anything. I will say it's Still's grasses were part of that. I really
Hmm.
like that. I really like and I love the level design as well.
Okay.
Mm. What's your least
Huh.
favorite thing about?
I did tell you.
What was it?
The I think it was either the NPCs, lack of fast travel. The lack of fast travel.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think we got into that to be honest. But regardless, lack of fast travel does suck, and NPCs were annoying. If I were to pick a least favorite thing about the game, I'd say the fact that everything that's in your inventory counts as your equip load. That's annoying, and
That
I'm glad they fixed it. I'm glad they were like, nah, this is stupid. Let's get this shit out of here. And I wonder how it is in the remake, but the
uh-huh.
original, Jesus.
I think in the remake they probably have it as that,
Yeah.
because that definitely would have changed the game entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they definitely most likely had left that. They did
Now,
change, like I said, they changed a bit against an Flame Lurker because you can't cheese them anymore
yeah,
and stuff.
that is true.
All right. But let's continue, nonetheless.
Hey,
The
this
maiden, the maiden in black was very cool.
Maiden Estrella. This freaking boss was very weird. Like it just kind of felt like it didn't need to be a boss. Maybe because the like knight wasn't hard to kill.
Yeah,
Like
I
if
mean,
this like knight right
if
here.
you think about it, it pretty much reminds me of the monk fight. You kill the NPC and then you don't really fight the boss. You just kill the NPC and then that's that. But one thing that
Yeah.
I do freaking hated about this part were the plague baby,
Oh, the little red babies in the
the
blood
little
pool.
red babies that were in
Yeah,
the
like a
area
swampy
on
area.
the
It's like blood.
bottom. Like, bro, but there were so many and so fast. You could once you were stuck, that was it. There was no rolling out, and they were tanky as hell for no reason.
Yeah,
But again, like I feel like that fight was purpose because like he had a heavy weapon and stuff, but he was fighting in an area that he could barely use it. So it was just, you know,
why
just
he
chip
would just
away
hit the
at his
rock.
health.
He would just hit the rock like on the top. That's why I feel like it was just kind of a weird fight.
Mhm. And then the fact that once you already beat him, the maiden is like, well, you beat my warrior, take it,
I'll give this
take
one
the
a three.
soul.
I give this one a three. I didn't like this one. It was all right.
I, I'm gonna be generous and I'll just give just because of the annoyance.
Repeat that. What was it you were gonna give it?
I'd give it a 4 just because of the annoyance.
Yeah.
The other area,
I wouldn't say
the
four is
annoyance.
generous, but
I mean, it technically is for the fact that this you didn't really have to do much in this boss fight.
no, you just as long as you killed that guy, you were.
Exactly, you pretty much went through the game and that was that.
Yep.
The
All right.
mosquitoes were pretty annoying, and
Yeah, they could have been, but they were just. Ooh, this next boss
uh
was great. The Penetrator. Wild name.
funny ass name, bro. It's a
Wild name. The fun fact: the creator of Dark Souls, he wanted to name Orenstein and Smog. He wanted to name them double penetrators or double penetration or something like that. But obviously there was like a translation error. Like it doesn't sound the same. So they did.
PG.
They
It's
couldn't.
rated PG.
They definitely weren't gonna do that. But let me pull this guy up really quick. Penetrator. This guy, I never really got this guy's deal. It's like laughing
Uh,
jokester guy.
oh, fun fact with that. If you guys remember the clown in Lies of P, I think this is where they got the idea from for the clown.
Think so?
I definitely think so because the face looks somewhat similar. Because remember, he's constantly smiling.
Yeah.
But honestly, this fight was one of the fun. This is my second favorite fight.
The Penetrator.
Yeah,
I like this fight a lot as well.
I definitely think you may know which one's my.
I have an idea actually. I definitely have an idea.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. I give this guy a good solid 8. Give him a solid 8.
I'd give him a 9.
All right, I respect it.
Definitely a 9 because the thing is, you couldn't cheese him. He could break the statues and all.
Yeah,
this.
you really have to learn it. You have to learn them.
You had to learn how to dodge, how to, hit him, and then know when to back away.
Great fight. Great fight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I applaud this fight. The bridge to get there is fucking terrible. Fix that shit.
Oh my god, bro.
Fucking shit. Heck, yo, we're gonna have a whole hour talking about like boss runs in Dark Souls 2.
Oh, bro, absolutely,
A whole hour.
Oh my, bro, Dark Souls 2 is one of my
Ridiculous.
most hated games.
I
I hate it.
actually
I
don't mind Dark
hate it.
Souls 2. I didn't mind it.
See, see, here's the thing. You know what? I'll explain it for when that
Yeah, we'll leave
podcast
it. We'll
comes
leave it
out.
to that one. We'll leave it to that one. We'll leave it to we gotta save that content for that. You know.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, that's what I'm
let's
saying. I
move on
understand.
from the penetrator.
Uh,
Ooh, okay. So this is the one that I had an idea of, like maybe you would pick him as your number one because he's definitely my number one.
Absolutely,
He's
absolutely,
definitely
bro.
the False King
Yo,
Allen. He's definitely my
oh my god,
favorite.
best fight throughout in this game. I do not care what anyone says. In my opinion, this was the best fight.
I agree. I
Getting to
agree.
him was pretty difficult. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah, the
the
dragon and all
dragon and
that.
stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah. But honestly, amazing fight, great boss. Honestly, in my opinion, I'll give this fight a 10 out of 10.
Wow. Okay. So the best,
A
but
10 out of 10. Yeah.
you know what? I give him a 9, just because
Really?
there were
Okay.
some parts right where I feel like he should have hit you more, but it
Mhm.
wasn't. It wasn't like the best fight in the whole entire game. Was he a perfect boss?
I
Mm,
mean, he does have his flaws, but you know what I realized, and this made me say the stream.
yeah.
This may lead into it. He definitely has aspects that we do see in Sekiro.
And that's why I give him a 9, because I remember we were talking about that, and he has like those swipes and that like really cool like sword
The gra-
handling.
the grapple on it,
Yeah,
like when he would go for a swing and then go grapple
yeah. Or
immediately after.
he would like throw like a slash at you the way that
Yeah.
the sword saint does. Like really cool shit. I like the dashing. I like the. I would literally just run away from him, let him dash, roll around him, and then just beat the shit out of him. I forgot what. Oh, I was using the bastard sword for my first run on Demon's Souls. I love that
Yeah.
sword. The bastard sword was the best fucking sword in
Yo,
the
I'm
game.
not gonna lie. If you ever beat him as a mage, kudos to you. 'Cause I don't think you know fighting the other part of the bosses as a mage would have definitely been easy.
Yeah,
A great fight, amazing boss. I love the fact that you couldn't backstab him.
that is
I
true.
love that fact because it would have definitely made the. Any more questions? You're
Mm, on a sec. I took a break to the bathroom
sheesh. All right.
and I back.
Welcome
Okay.
back.
All right. I was tripping out a little bit, so I had to reset it.
No, you're fine.
We're gonna move on from the old King Allen, probably or
Yep.
you know what, the best boss in the whole entire game.
Yep. For
Go
sure.
to old King Allen. All right, so we're basically done with this. So before we start that, let's talk about our favorite areas. Dark Souls,
Demon Souls.
Demon's Souls. Sorry, I just can't get used to the name, dude. Honestly, Demon's
You,
Souls. It just
you
sounds
know what?
weird.
I can't judge you on that, man. I
Yeah.
understand.
I don't know if you're already ready to talk about your favorite world. I'm actually ready to talk about my favorite like area.
You can start it off. Go for it, bro.
All right, I'm gonna pick Prison of Hope. I don't know why I did that. Prison of
Ooh.
Hope, Demon Soul. But let's do the original. Original. But OG. Yes. Okay. Yep. This is definitely it. This fucking area right here. It's kind of like a library, prison, or it's like a like prison cellar. Like this area was so fucking cool to me, man. The bosses, like the little aliens that like destroy you. The turns, the corners, everything was
The
just really
mind
cool.
flayers, I think they were called. I think
Everything,
they were
like
called.
opening the cells, the
Yeah.
Iron Maidens, like the Iron Maidens you'd find,
Oh
and like
yeah,
sometimes there would be
absolutely.
somebody coming out of them or something like that.
Yeah.
Everything in this area was so fun. It was my favorite, 100%.
Okay, that's
What
not a
about
bad
you?
thing. This may be. I'm debating about it honestly. So I'm stuck between two.
Pick one.
But no, yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
got it. Just you know what you got to do. Just pick
Pick
one right
one.
now. Don't think about it. Just pick one right now. Don't think about it. Which one did you
Upper
pick?
Upper Latria.
Send me the name on the Discord.
I got you.
Pull it up. Or you can tell me the number of it, and then I can just look it up myself.
It's 3-2.
Dude. Okay. That's right after Prison of Hope.
Yeah.
It's in the same vicinity. It's like basically the same area.
Yeah, it's the one.
Okay.
Upper Latria.
For Sharia, right? Like that?
Yeah, Latria.
No, it's a thing. I know this area, but there's only the one on the remake. Oh no, wait, it's right here.
Yeah,
I think this is the first one. No, it's not.
yeah,
But this area is really cool.
yeah.
I
This
think
area.
this video will do it justice. I mean, it's looks way cooler in
Spooky.
here, but it is a really good area. Yeah,
It's very spooky. It's very gloomy. Definitely a
that big
great
guy
area.
is like that big
Yeah.
weird thing that pops up out of nowhere, and you're like supposed to unchain him or something to unlock
Yeah,
a
yeah.
path. Really cool area, actually. Yeah, this area is really cool too.
For sure. Definitely a good area.
I think we can start getting onto the favorite boss portion. But before we do, I think we should do your opinion on the gameplay overall, like how the game was, compared to like other games.
I
Keeping in mind that it's the first of its
the
kind.
original. I definitely will give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
It definitely had its issues. It definitely had its bugs, but it overall, for the very first game that they made, it definitely was a very fun game.
I give it a 6.
Really,
Have you seen how slow it is to climb a fucking ladder?
bro. That what, I can't even argue with that.
And I can't even be a
He's got a
hater,
point.
man. I can't be
He
a
can't.
hater.
He's got a point. The climbing the ladder was so
It's terrible.
slow. Like if there were more archers, you would have just died climbing
Yeah.
up the ladder.
Yep.
You would have died if there was more archers.
Not the best fucking gameplay. Let's rate it. Let's rate the difficulty of the game. What would you give the difficulty of the game overall? 1 through 10.
5, definitely a 5.
Yeah, I'm nearing more towards like a 3.
Yeah,
Four because of the boss runs. Some boss
yeah.
runs actually.
The hardest things about him was getting to the boss.
Yeah.
Pretty much, that was it. The boss themselves weren't that difficult.
Yep. I agree. You know what? I'm not sure if this was in here or not. Isn't there like a boss, like a chariot boss? No, that's Dark Souls
No,
2.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just literally confused. All right,
So, uh huh.
I wanted to ask one more thing.
Okay.
Your favorite weapon?
I actually, hmm. I actually have to look at what it was called. I think it was a. I think it was uh, straight sword, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, mine was a bastard sword, and it was awesome. Fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Or was it a great sword? A large sword?
Mine was the bastard sword, and it was great. It was amazing. Use that shit. Max it out. Beat the fuck out of the NPCs after you beat the game like I did. You
No,
know that
don't.
smug little blue asshole? You know the smug little blue asshole in front of the first archstone? I beat his ass. I beat the game and then I went back and I beat his fucking ass. Because he's all smug and shit. And you know what? It was the best thing ever. It was the best boss of the game.
So I definitely used the. I used the. It was a Flameberg sword.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because you had the thing that would do fire. You're right.
It was the Flameberg.
Um, let's talk about this little asshole, old King Allant.
I mean, you don't really fight him.
Yeah,
That's the only disappointing thing. Really fight him is like another portal. What I do like was the way you got to him. You remember how you got to him?
you fall through the hole in the Nexus.
Yup. That's what I thought was very cool.
I'm starting to see that. Was it Old King Daron? Who's this?
I remember at the end of I don't know. I don't think I ever fought him.
We kind of just got hit with some.
Something different. But maybe that was a boss?
Maybe it's a boss in the remake. No, no, this is the old one. Whoa, we might have
Maybe it,
missed this, huh?
yeah.
All right, that's fine. We just have to look at the other boss, which for some
Oh,
reason,
but he says
Boss
he's in the
King,
first world.
huh?
It says he's in the first world. If you look on the other ones, he
Yeah,
says
I don't
world
know
one.
why. I have no idea why. You know what? I'm gonna just do final boss, Demon Souls final boss.
See, it's a lot.
So, like, what did we fight?
Mm,
Remember we fought this other thing? Oh,
yeah,
okay, it's the same
yeah.
thing. It's this
Because
then.
remember, we chose
Retrieved.
to have her go in.
And today, the unstable world has another monumental to hold its fabric together.
Remember, she gave us a choice. I think. See, right here, we allowed her. This was the
That's
fight we
right, it
had.
was this guy with King Allant. This was like after everything.
Uh huh. For sure. I think this was the guy, but I think the other guy was just I don't know.
False King.
No. The King Do.
Yeah, this guy? Old King Duran is the single hardest boss in Demon Souls, and fighting him legitimately is asking for a whooping. Thought?
Do.
Though managing to defeat Doran in itself a massive badge of honor, Doran is fast, regenerates stamina quickly thanks to his stamina ring, and deals quite a bit of damage with Demon Brant. Thankfully, there's an extremely easy way to defeat Old King Doran. Simply cast Poison and Death Cloud onto him, which watch as the Poison and Plague status effect rip through his health. Doran will drop dead without a fight, and you'll walk away with the stamina ring. I don't remember this guy.
Oh, bruh, all you get is the stamina. To hell with that.
I really don't remember that.
He's in the first world. It says. So it's definitely like a
We
side
passed
boss.
them. Yeah, we passed them.
But
Well,
he's like again, he's most likely an optional boss.
yeah,
Because if we couldn't, if we were supposed to face him, we wouldn't have been able to beat the game.
true.
Mhm.
That is very true. But I think that was gonna do it for Demon Souls for us, bro. We went through the whole game. We went through all the bosses. We went through some of the locations. Um, is there anything else you want to say before we
For
give it
all
a
of you
final
watching,
rating?
for all of you watching in chat, leave a comment below. Who was your favorite boss? What did you guys think of the game? Would you
Tell
guys
us.
play this game again? Let me
Talk
ask you
about
that.
what
Yeah.
fucking asshole bosses you hated too.
Which bosses you hated?
Now,
No.
I would definitely be willing to play this game again.
I actually second what I'm not gonna lie. I actually would be honest honestly like to play the remake to see how
Yeah,
different
I
it
do
is.
want to see that because I hear that the remake, there's a lot of like flack. It gets a lot of flack from the Dark Souls community or the Souls community where they just kind of say it lost its charm. You know what they were going for, and like the brand new person working on it kind of like made it his own thing, and he just wanted to make things look sharp and cool, and it kind of lost a lot of its like essence or like the essence of the game. So I'm glad that I played the first one, the original, before I get to play the remake. But yeah, I definitely want to see that too.
And all I'm saying, bro, is if you get a PS4, when you finish Bloodborne, just send it my way.
All right, just give me the money for the
Game.
shipping, Brand. I got you. But
I will beat it though. I will beat Bloodborne one day.
I think we're holding off on rankings, right? We're gonna rank the games when we finish all of them.
We're honestly no. We'll rank the games that we are so once we Bloodborne. We
Okay,
can
so
do another re-rank, like another short. And
now, because then we would have to go back and we would have to take all the rankings from all the games
Mhm.
like in the podcasts to
Yeah.
figure it out. So I think I
All right.
honestly
If you want, we
remember that
can
we
hold off.
yeah, I think we skipped it because on my notes it says skip ranks for last. So maybe we're
Yeah.
like we just got to remember that for next time. I'm gonna put a little check right there.
All right.
Um,
Absolutely.
but this has been the Kindled Corner, episode 2, Demon Souls. Chinobot, you have anything else to say before we sign off, bro?
I mean, if you guys want to take part of it, the next podcast, leave a comment. Tell us more about us. Tell us what questions you want us to answer for y'all.
Yeah, we'll feature you in the video. Tell us something. What's the next game we're gonna talk about?
So, what we have left is Dark Souls 2,
Dark Souls
Dark
1,
Souls 1,
Sekiro, and Elden Ring.
Sekiro, Elden Ring. Do we even consider Lies of P?
Of course not. It's not a From Software game.
You right, you right. So we got four
I
games left.
I want to save Sekiro for last.
All
That's all I
right.
want to say. So maybe we can do Dark Souls 1?
All right. Yeah, we'll go Dark
All right.
Souls 1. We'll go in order then.
Say something about Dark Souls 1. Yeah, we could just go Dark Souls 1 and 2. Say something about Dark Souls 1 that you like or dislike, and maybe we'll put it on the thing, or we will put it on the thing if you say anything.
Absolutely, guys. Don't be afraid to leave a comment.
Or be
Take part in the
afraid, or
chat.
be afraid.
All right, you can
We're,
be afraid
we're
of Amp.
demons.
I'm
We're
just saying.
demons. Be afraid. We're demons, and we're gonna curse you and your families. We're gonna curse your families forever
All
and
right,
all
all right.
eternity.
First of all, you don't.
Cursed.
Oh, bro, calm down. Calm your tism down. It's gonna be okay. Just because it says demons, souls, it's gonna be okay. You'll find a way to
If
speak.
you're watching this, you're gonna wake up at 3 a.m. on the dot, and then you're gonna see my guy floating in your room. All
Like
right.
that SpongeBob. Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
a grocery list.
I'm floating shopping list.
Oh, bro, them SpongeBob's.
The best, man. But all right, this has been the Kindled Corner with our robo host Chinobot and me, Antology. Thank you for
See you guys
watching.
next time.
See you in the next episode. Dark Souls 1, baby.